Hi guys, I'm Sly Guy, and we got another tier list for you guys. God, you guys asked for tier lists, you're gonna get tier lists. Yeah, totally asked for it. We're doing Sun and Moon. We're finally doing Sun and Moon. This is the last tier list of a generation of Pokemon that I haven't done yet. I did every other generation besides this one. So, with that all out of the way, subscribe to the channel if you like what you see. We hit 200 subscribers. Let's go. Let's get to 300, huh? Let's get to 300 subscribers. For this tier list, I'm only going to be doing all of the fully evolved Pokemon because we got a lot of Pokemon to talk about. So let's get on with it. It looks like this tier list starts with the Alola forms. We got S tier being the best, F tier being the worst. Self-explanatory. Let's get right to it. First off, we got Alola and Raticate. Starting off with the Alola forms. Alola and Raticate, I'm just gonna put in C. Alola and Raticate grew on me a little bit. I like that it got Hustle. Normal Dark type is pretty cool. It got Gluttony too, which is one of my favorite abilities. So it's not horrible. I like its shiny too a lot. Alolan Raichu, I'm gonna put Alolan Raichu with B. Alolan Raichu is adorable. Probably one of my favorite Alolan forms. I just wish it was a little bit better than it is. Like if it had a cooler ability, I don't think its ability is that great. But adorable, hell yeah it is. Next up, Alolan Sandslash. Alolan Sandslash, same with B. It looks awesome, but it just sucks competitively. Ice Steel, horrible typing defensively. Two 4 times weaknesses, and then just a lot of other 2 times weaknesses. And really slow. It's a cool Slush Rush user, I guess. But that's about it. Alolan Ninetales in A. Alolan Ninetales is definitely one of the best Alolan forms. Design-wise, it looks amazing, beautiful, majestic, Ice Fairy, awesome typing, and Aurora Veil with Snow Warning makes this Pokemon just amazing competitively. So many offensive options for Ninetales, well, being paired with offensive mons, just going crazy. Alolan Dugtrio, freaking hate. I hate Alolan Dugtrio. It looks dumb and it should feel dumb. Same with Alolan Persian. I hate Alolan Persian. Also in Pokemon Go, I freaking hate hatching Alolan Meowth out of 7k eggs. So Alolan Meowth is also going to go in F. And Alolan Meowth will probably be the only fully evolved Pokemon I'm going to put in the tier list, but it just has to know how much I hate it. I hate these Alolan forms, by far the worst ones. Alolan Golem, I'm going to put Alolan Golem in B. Design-wise, I like its design. I like that it got Magna Pull, that it can trap steel types like Heatran if you Scarf it, but it's still just really slow. But it's alright. Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck is going in A. Alolan Muck is also one of my favorite Alolan forms. It's just a piece of sludge. It's like, they didn't have... I don't think they could have done much with a piece of sludge and making it look like a different piece of sludge, but I think they did the best they damn could, because Alolan Muck is just awesome. Poison Dark, amazing typing, really bulky, and really good, really good. Alolan Executor, going B. Alolan Executor, long neck game all the way. It's a meme Pokemon, and I love it because of that. Alolan Marowak, also going in A. Alolan Marowak looks amazing. Fire and Ghost, cool type, and it got a great Ghost physical stab move. That's signature about it. Flare Blitz hits hard. Just a little on the slow side. Give it thick club. And man, Alolan Marowak is a beast. Next up, we got the starters. First off, Decidueye. Decidueye going with B. Decidueye is my most disappointing Pokemon in this generation, because ever since Rowlet released, when Sun and Moon first started, and we saw Rowlet, I was Team Rowlet all the way. Rowlet is like the most... Rowlet is still, to this day, I think the most adorable starter out of all time. I freaking love Rowlet. And then we get Leaksea and Decidueye. Decidueye, I was like, wow, Decidueye is going to be the Greninja of this generation because it looks so damn cool. Ghost Grass typing is such a cool typing for Decidueye. But then Game Freak makes this Pokemon ass competitively. Decidueye is horrible competitively. It's 70 base speed. Why is it only 70 base speed? It should be 100 plus. And like, God, Decidueye is so disappointed. It's so bad. It can't do anything competitively because it's just so damn slow. It's not that bulky. and then the hidden abilities come out. They give Decidueye a brand new hidden ability, special to Decidueye. It's Decidueye's signature hidden ability that Game Freak made specifically for it. And it's just an ass ability. It's like one of the most useless abilities like I can freaking think of. Like, long reach is ass! Like, they gave Greninja Protein, and they give Decidueye long reach. That is garbage. Just, like, it's such a cool Pokemon. And they just totally crapped on it. They didn't give nothing for Decidueye. I hate using Decidueye competitively, because it can't do anything. It never does anything. It just dies. That's all it does. God. Decidueye has so much potential to be so cool. And Game Freak just messed up on it. Game Freak messed up on a lot of these Pokemon competitively. Like, I hate Generation 7's Pokemon competitively. They look so amazing, but then competitively they're ass. We'll get to a lot of other Pokemon that share Decidueye's same problem pretty much. Incineroar, I'm also going to put Incineroar in B. Overall, I think Generation 7, like, design-wise, they have cool starters. Generation 7 has a good starter lineup. Incineroar is my least favorite starter. But it doesn't mean, like, I still think it's a cool starter. It got Intimidate, which is a great secondary ability, which is a great hidden ability. So they did Incineroar justice with its hidden ability. I think Incineroar is just too slow. It's a monster in VGC. It's not that great in singles, but a monster in VGC at least it gets that going for it. And it looks cool. I don't like Incineroar shiny. Decidueye, going back to Decidueye. Decidueye has an amazing shiny at least. I don't like Incineroar shiny. I think Torracat and Litten look better, but I'm not digging. I don't like Incineroars that much. But Incineroar, it's solid. Primarina though, Primarina S tier. This is my favorite starter. When I saw Popplio, Popplio was my least favorite starter. I think Popplio was everybody's least favorite starter when they saw it. Popplio for the first time. But Primarina, I freaking love Primarina. Love its design. Love its Water Fairy dual typing. It has a monstrous special attack set. It's once again slow, like every Pokemon in this generation. But it's at least got the typing and the bulk to take a couple hits. And it just hits so damn hard with its 130 special attack. Like, there is not a lot of Pokemon in the game that can resist both of Primarina's stabs. They can resist one, but they're not going to resist the other. And Primarina can just wreck teams if you just use Choice Specs Primarina. I love Primarina. Another bad thing about Primarina is I don't like Primarina's hidden ability either. A Liquid Voice I think is kind of pointless. I think it would have been a lot cooler with Pixelate because, like, you would still rather run Scald for the burn chance, but you would run Hydro Pump just because Hydro Pump is still just as powerful. But if it had Pixelate, like, Hyper Voice would be better than Hyper Voice would be better than Moonblast, which it does get. So that's my big gripe with Primarina is I think its hidden ability is kind of pointless. But otherwise, it's by far my favorite starter. I love using Primarina. Toucanon sucks. Toucanon is just stupid. It's just a dumb bird. I don't care about it at all. I think it's pretty lame how it went from a freaking woodpecker to a freaking toucan. Like, that's pretty lame. I don't care about Toucanon at all. Same for Gumshoes. I don't care about it. I don't care if it was a funny Donald Trump meme back in the day. Don't care about it. It's a really unforgettable Pokemon, and like it has like literally no competitive value. Vica Volt. Vica Volt is my second disappointed Pokemon of this generation. My second most disappointed Pokemon of this generation. Vica Volt, design-wise, Vica Volt is the coolest designed bug Pokemon that I've seen in a long time out of any generation. Vica Volt just looks so damn awesome. But then it just sucks. Game Freak messed up its competitive nature ridiculously. Why is it so damn slow? The Pokedex entry says it's fast. Let's go to it. Let's learn. Alright, well, I'm on Cerebi, and I don't see any... The best thing I can find here is it says it zips around. But you think this Pokemon zipping with freaking... Where is it? Base 43 freaking speed? Like, are you kidding me? Base 43 speed. That is garbage. Vica Volt just could have been so much better as a glass cannon, like really fast, really hard hitting, but just fragile as hell. And they could have gave it Quiver Dance too. Vica Volt looks like a Quiver Dancer if I ever seen one, but no, it doesn't get Quiver Dance. It just gets agility, and like Vica Volt can run agility on the set now, but even with one agility, it's still outsped by so many Pokemon because it's 43 base speed. It's not even that bulky either. It's not even that bulky. And Bug and Electric is not that big of a defensive typing, so it can easily get effed up, especially when you count Z moves. Like, God, Vica Volt is horrible competitively. It got Sticky Webs, which still is 43 speed. A timid Vica Volt is still going to be outsped by so many Pokemon with being caught under Sticky Web. Like, God, they just fucked up Vica Volt so badly. And Vica Volt's speeds, speeds that's horrible. Its shiny is amazing. I love Vica Volt shiny, but I haven't even gone for it, Vica Volt shiny yet. Because it's just, I'm not going to use it competitively, because I'm just going to get wrecked by teams with better Pokemon. Vica Volt's just not good. It's so hard to use Vica Volt competitively. It's just so disappointing. Vica Volt and Decidueye are so cool, but you just can't use them without getting wrecked constantly. It's just so disappointing, but we'll move on to bad Pokemon. Krabappel F. Krabappel, my least favorite Pokemon in this generation, because I used this Pokemon in my first playthrough of Sun and Moon. I used it, and I swapped Beware. Let that sink into you later on when we get to Beware. I swapped that ugly-ass crab for this beautiful, amazing Beware. And it was my most dumbest Pokemon decision I've ever made in Pokemon history. Krabappel sucks, it's garbage, it has an amazing offensive typing, but once again, who would have thought? Krabappel is slow as shit, so it can't take any hits. Krabappel is nowhere near as bulky as some of these other Pokemon too. Like, Generation 7 not only made him super slow and super unbulky, but Krabappel is like so unbulky compared to even Vica Volt. Like, Krabappel is fragile as hell, and it's just so stupid. And also, it got two typings that both have stab priority moves, but it doesn't get any of that. It doesn't get Ice Shard, it doesn't get Mach Punch, even though it's obviously stab for both typings, but no, it doesn't get any stab priority moves at all. And God, Krabappel sucks! I hate it so much. I use it in a playthrough, and I just remember vividly about it getting fucked up by Olivia's Lycanroc. Not once, but twice. I led with Crabrawler on Olivia, and it Z-Rock Continental crushed my Crabrawler to oblivion. I used Krabappel on Olivia when I was doing the Elite Four on her Lycanroc, and she used the Z-move on Krabappel, and it just destroyed it, and God, it just put a bad taste in my mouth with Krabappel forever, for history. I will never not dislike Krabappel. Krabappel is garbage. The Oricorios. Is that what this Pokemon... This Pokemon is kind of forgettable, and I'll just put that one in C, this one in D. This one's my least favorite. It just looks the dumbest one. Fire one in C, Ghost one in C. It's more of a gimmick Pokemon with its Dancer ability. And it's alright, but I don't really care much for the Oricorios. Pretty average Pokemon in the generation. Ribombee, I'm going to put Ribombee B. I like Ribombee a lot. Ribombee is a good bug Pokemon in this generation. Design-wise, this generation is just home runs with their bug types, because there isn't a bad bug type in this generation. Ribombee is my least favorite one, but I have been actually using Ribombee a lot in Sword and Shield lately. I think Ribombee is probably one of the best Sticky Web users of this generation, in Generation 8. Because it got Sticky Web, it got some Moonblast. A lot of Fairy types don't have Moonblast anymore in this in Generation 8 at the moment. That should change, hopefully, once Pokemon Bank comes out. But yeah, Ribombee thankfully does get Moonblast, and it also gets Quiver Dance, so it can set up Sticky Webs. It can even set up and sweep on its own. It's not very powerful, though. It definitely needs multiple Quiver Dances to do significant damage. but it's also super fast as hell, so it can easily get sticky webs up on most taunt users, and yeah, I like Krabappel a lot. Also, love its shiny. The Arauco's got good shinies as well. Krabappel doesn't. Lycanroc, Lycanroc has all the forms. Wait, where's the other Lycanroc form? It's just said, is that just down a ways? Wait, does this tier list not have the other Lycanroc form? It has the new Ultra Beast, but it doesn't have a new Lycanroc? What the hell is wrong with this tier list? There's another... You're missing a Lycanroc form, you idiot. Well, I guess I'll just do these two forms. I'm just gonna put this one at C because it's the worst one, and this one at B. If I have the other Lycanroc form, that one will be in B as well, but that one is my favorite one because it's the most competitively viable with tough claws. It just hits a lot harder. Now, that's disappointing that this guy that made this tier list forgot the Lycanroc form. That's dumb. But Lycanroc's also pretty forgettable of a Pokemon. Like, it doesn't do much. It hits fast, but it doesn't hit hard. It definitely needs setup to hit hard. And it's just pure rock type, so it's not very good defensively. And not that great offensively either, because it only is banking on that rock stab. It has somewhat decent coverage. I mean, it doesn't even got Earthquake, though, which is annoying. It has Drill Run, which is a lot weaker. So, Lycanroc is pretty, average to slightly above average. Wishy-Washy, I'm putting Wishy-Washy in B. I'll just put the other form in B as well. Wishy-Washy is another disappointing Pokemon because, the concept of Wishy-Washy I think is amazing. I think it's one of the coolest fish Pokemon that we've have gotten in all of Pokemon. Because it's just cool how just millions of these tiny fish make this big, awesome fish. And it just looks so huge, so powerful, and it is powerful, but it's just slow, as it doesn't have a lot of HP. And the worst thing about Wishy-Washy is I think it doesn't stay like this form. Like, if it gets to a certain health, it goes back to tiny, baby, useless-ass Wishy-Washy, which I think it should just remain the school Wishy-Washy for the remainder of the battle. It's very disappointing that it doesn't. And that's my gripe on school Wishy-Washy. I think it's just such a cool Pokemon, but it's just crippled by that part of the ability. Toxapex, I'm gonna put Toxapex in D. Toxapex is amazing competitively. Toxapex is one of the only non-legendary Pokemon in this generation that's actually good, because it's just a bulky stall Pokemon that doesn't die. And Toxapex is a huge part in stall teams, and it's annoying, and I hate going against it. I want to die every time I have to face it in battle, and that's why it's in D. Design-wise, it's cool, but you never like facing this Pokemon. You never like facing it. Muzzale, I'm gonna put in B. I like Muzzale. I think stat distribution-wise, I think Muzzale has one of the fairest stat distributions. It is slow, but it's really bulky. Actually, it has really decent bulk, especially paired with stamina. And I like in Sword and Shield that they gave it Body Press, which is super great on Muzzale, with even getting multiple stamina boost. Offensively, though, unfortunately, it can't do much because it doesn't really have any offensive setup, which is disappointing. I wish they gave it offensive setup and even a recovery option. Imagine if it got Sandy Gas's and Palosan's recovery move, and it could shore up and heal. Muzzale would be amazing if that happened, because it's a decent stealth rocker, but I definitely think it could be better on the bulkier side. I have a lot of fun using Muzzale, and Muzzale's solid. Muzzale got options. Araquanid is going in S. Araquanid is my favorite bug-type Pokemon of this generation. I like Vica Volt, and I like Golisopod, which is not on the tier list yet, better design-wise, but Araquanid is just so good competitively, and stat-wise, Araquanid is just garbage stat-wise, but its ability, Water Bubble, that is an ability, Game Freak. That is how you make a good ability. Water Bubble is freaking amazing. Not only does it rapidly boost Araquanid's Water Stab, not only does it reduce fire types, but fire attack gradually, so Araquanid now really resists fire. It also it prevents Araquanid from being burned as well. Like, all 3 of those abilities, like, as one ability wouldn't be, like, decent abilities, but all 3 of those are just paired into this one ability, and it makes Araquanid just insane. Like, I wish Araquanid just had a little more attack power, and then it would just be so good. The Choice Band Arauco is just insane. Like, all you need is to hit liquidations. But obviously the biggest problem is if you use any other attack that isn't liquidation, it's not going to do much because Araquanid's attack is just pitiful. It really needs that water stab. And it can't do special. Like, some people use special, but I don't like special because its special stat is just way too weak. But Araquanid, I love it. I love its design. It just looks like a badass spider. And in Sword and Shield, when it chases you in the wild area, it's horrifying. And I love it. Araquanid gets a cool shiny too. Araquanid is amazing. Sticky webs as well. Like, Araquanid is another good sticky web user. I love me some Araquanid. Moving on next to Laurentiis. I'm going to put Laurentiis in B. Laurentiis is alright. I used to hate Laurentiis at first. Because just as a contrary user, like, Superior was just better than it in every way. But in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, they gave Laurentiis superpower, and I think it definitely benefited Laurentiis a lot, making it a physical option too, or even a mixed attacker option with Leaf Sword and superpower. So it made it a little more different from Superior, and I like using Laurentiis. It had Defog too. Well, it has Defog in Sun and Moon. It's not even in Sword and Shield anymore. And I like its shiny. I like its green shiny. I don't know why, but it just pops out to me, and I like it a lot. And yeah, Laurentiis, I think it has a cool design. It's not that strong, and once again, it's slow as hell, but it's alright. I like it. I like Laurentiis. Laurentiis is alright in my book. Salandit. Salandit I'll put in B. I don't really care about Salandit that much. It's fast, it hits sort of hard, it has a nasty plot. Its coverage is pretty bad. Its signature ability is cool, but I just don't think it fits with Salandit. I think it would have fitted more on a bulkier poison type instead of on an offensive one. But it's still pretty cool, and it got a really cool shiny. Salandit turned white is amazing. I definitely think Salazzle, that's Salazzle. I think Salandit, its pre-evolution, is cooler, unfortunately. Like, when I saw Salandit, it's like, wow, this Pokemon looks really badass. Then we got Salazzle, and it's like, I think this is kind of a downgrade. It looks alright, but I definitely think Salazzle is a little downgrade. And it's so annoying that they made this a Combi of a generation. Why can only female Salandits evolve? And why are female Salandits just as rare as frickin' Combi? It's stupid and annoying. I skipped Shiinotic. Shiinotic's in D. Shiinotic sucks. Like, Shiinotic has nothing good going for it. I mean, it got Spore, but Amoonguss, the other mushroom Pokemon, is just better in so many ways. It has a better ability. It has a better utility. Like, Shiinotic sucks. Like, Strength Sap is cool, but now other Pokemon has Strength Sap, and they're just way better Strength Sap users than Shiinotic. Like stat-wise, like, Shiinotic got nothing really going for it. It's really sad, unfortunately. Beware, we know where Beware's going. Beware's going in S. You guys can't see that because the fame's getting so big. I give this a go. Alright, Beware. I freaking love Beware. Beware's my favorite Pokemon in Sun and Moon. And I never imagined Beware was going to be my favorite Pokemon of this generation, but I love Beware. 60 base speed is actually fast in this generation because of freaking Game Freak being stupid and making every Pokemon like 50 or below. But Beware actually got 60 for some reason, so at least got some decent speed to it. It's super physically bulky because of its massive HP stat, its decent defense stat. But the fluffy ability, I honestly wish though Beware got Fur Coat, because Fur Coat is a better ability in every way, because Fur Coat just literally doubles the defense stat, while Fluffy just makes physical hits less damage, but also then gives Beware a weakness to fire. So that sucks. So Fur Coat would have been a lot better, but still Fluffy is alright. And I just like it. It can set up bulk ups or sword dances. It hits hard with Choice Band. It hits hard with the Z move that came out. Or it can set up good with its now G Max moves or Dynamax moves. Because I'm definitely glad this Pokemon's in Sword and Shield. I'm really happy about that. And I love its shiny. I love me gold shinies, and Beware is no exception. And I just love Beware. It's my adorable, cuddly monster, and I love him. Serena, I'm gonna put Serena in B. I think Serena's alright. It hits surprisingly hard. Queenly Majesty is a cool ability. It has a lot of great coverage options with high jump kick and play rough. It has Rapid Spin, and Rapid Spin is really good in Sword and Shield now. It can heal with Sympathis, so Serena gets a lot of options. I think, like, stat-wise, they give Serena good stat distribution, but I just think it's just missing a little bit of speed. Like, it could be it could hit a little harder, it could hit a little faster, it could be a little more bulky, but Serena's solid. Serena's not bad. Next up, Comfey. Comfey's going in B. Comfey's alright too. Triage is a really cool ability, getting priority and Draining Kiss. It can Calm Mind. It needs a lot of Calm Minds, though, to get going, since Draining Kiss is such a weak attack, and Comfey isn't very strong to begin with. But Comfey's solid. Comfey's solid. It's average. It's super average. Oranguru, I'm going to put Oranguru in C. I don't really care about Oranguru that much. Passimian, I'll put in B. Ever since Passimian now finally has the access to Defiant, Passimian's just a monster competitively. Like, not in, like, super high tiers, but in, like, lower tiers, like, Passimian's always, like, one of the most dominant Pokemon, because it's a great Choice Scarf user with Defiant. It can hit so hard if it gets a boost. And, yeah, Passimian's solid. Got you good coverage too, with U-turn for pivot options and Stone Edge and Iron Head. Passimian, very, very solid fighting type attacker. Next up, Golisopod. Golisopod, I'm gonna put in A, because Golisopod's design is just amazing, and competitively, I freaking hate that this Pokemon got some emergency exit. I'm not cool with that ability at all. It's such a bad ability. It hinders Golisopod so much. Like, it's not even worth setting up with this Pokemon, and it has so many setup options, but it can just easily get swapped with emergency exit. And, like, when leaks started with Sun and Moon, like, people were saying that, Wimpod was going to be the Magikarp of this generation. And looking at Golisopod, yeah, it's kind of true. I can buy that, like, because Wimpod, obviously a wimpy Pokemon, its ability is Wimp Out, but then it turns into this badass Golisopod, which looks insane and looks like it can kill my family and show no remorse afterwards and probably just eat its dinner right afterwards. But Golisopod still has the emergency exit ability, which is exactly the same as Wimp Out. It's just called emergency exit, which doesn't sound any more badass than Wimp Out. It sounds just as wimpy. Like, emergency, I got 50 health, I gotta get the fuck out of here. No, there's nothing badass about that. It's lame. It's super lame. Why did they give Golisopod this dumb ability? I really hope in the future Golisopod gets a second ability, and it could be anything, and I think Golisopod will be a lot better than it currently is. Moving on to Palossand. Palossand's alright, I'll put in B. I love Palossand's shiny. It has amazing shiny black sand. Looks amazing. And Shore Up, Stealth Rocks. Like, Palossand's a decent Stealth Rocker. And physically bulky. I never bad fan about Palossand, though. If I could shit on Palossand, it would be his ability as well, because Water Compaction is dumb. Why isn't Palossand immune to water? No, it has to get hit by the water first to get a +2 defense boost. And then, like, it doesn't even matter if it because most water attackers are special attackers, so that defense rate doesn't even freaking matter. It will still get wrecked in the next hit because you're probably dealing with a freaking special attack and water attack. It's such a flawed ability. It's so disappointing. Game Freak has really messed with a lot of these Pokemon, and it's really annoying. Pikamuku is going in D. Like, Pikamuku is just dumb. Like, I used to like Pikamuku at first a little bit for its gimmicks, but Pikamuku just sucks as a gimmick Pokemon. It really sucks. Like, it gets absolutely destroyed by taunt. Like, it can't do nothing else but just sit there and just wait to die. I don't like Pikamugu. Type Nolan Savali, I'll kind of count these as different Pokemon since you can kind of use them competitively. I'm gonna put Type Nolan B, and I'm gonna put Savali in A. I think Savali is a lot better in Sword and Shield now that they buffed up its attack at least. But yeah, Savali, I love its design. I think it's a lot cooler than Arceus, and I like how it's based off of Arceus with its RKS ability. But once again, it has flaws. I wish it had a 100 stat distribution instead of a 95, because it'll just be a lot stronger. But Game Freak pretty much ties the 100 stat distribution to mythical Pokemon, and I know that Savali isn't a mythical Pokemon, but if they could have still at least done the 100 stat boost distribution, so it at least look more like legendary status, because that's what it was like people trying to make a legendary Pokemon, so they could have at least gave it a 600 base stat total. But also the memories, they don't really do anything. Like, they just make Savali a different type. They don't, like, with Arceus, the plates boost Arceus's judgment move, its signature move. But the plates don't do nothing besides change a type. Like, why can't the memories give Savali a boosted attack? Like, that would have been a lot better in my opinion, but no, they don't do that. Also, with Arceus, like, Arceus can also use Z moves, and then the Z moves act as the plates too, and they give Arceus with different types. Like, they could have done that with, why didn't they do that with Savali? Like, it's disappointing. Savali looks badass, it's just not that great because of memories being kind of a burden, because they don't do nothing but change the type. So I think they could have made Savali better, but they didn't. I could say that with so many of these other Pokemon. They could have made him better, but they didn't. Minior, I'm going to put Minior in A. I like Minior. It's a fun shell smasher with White Herb and acrobatics. Like, Minior can do a lot of cool things. Like, it's just hard to, like, get Minior to set up and sweep because of its low speed when not transformed, and then it's just not bulky with a really fragile defensive typing. But if you can set it up, it's awesome. And Minior, I like Minior. It looks cool. It looks adorable, and it can destroy worlds if it wanted to. Kamala, I'm putting in C. I don't really care about Kamala. It does a cool ability, but that's about it. It's not really that great competitively. Turtonator, put in C. I don't really care about Turtonator either. I think they gave Turtonator like so many cool things about it, but then they just made it super stupid with how dumb its face looks. Like, I'm okay with the rest of its body, but its face is just so dumb. I like its shiny a lot too. Its shiny is really cool, in my opinion. But otherwise, Turtonator is just meh. Togedemaru is going in A. I love Togedemaru. Where is my Togedemaru? Where is it? Yeah, Togedemaru. I love Togedemaru. Togedemaru is my buddy. I just like using Togedemaru on the lower tiers as a Scarf user. It was one of the best Scarf users in the lower tiers. And God, look how adorable it looks. I used to not care about Togedemaru, but now I love it. I love it. Mimikyu is also going in A. I love Mimikyu. The concept is amazing. Having to hide in a Pikachu cloud so it can be loved more is just super sad. And Ghost Fairy, awesome type. And Disguise is a great ability. Unfortunately, it got nerfed a little in Sword and Shield. But you can still run Mimikyu very successfully competitively. Like, Mimikyu is solid. It's not as good as it used to be, but it's still super solid. It's not that hard hitting, so you definitely have to set up with it, but it can definitely sweep on its own if you got the opportunity. Bruxus is going in D. Bruxus is a super forgettable Pokemon in this generation. Trampa, I'm going to put Trampa in C. I don't really care about Trampa that much. Another pretty meh Pokemon. It can hit hard, but it's just super slow. It doesn't have the greatest defensive typing, so it can take a lot of hits. Interesting shiny vote for Trampa. I like Trampa. Trampa's shiny. Next up, Demise. I'm going to put Demise in B. I think Demise is pretty cool. they did a lot of good stuff with Dummise. Like stat distribution, I think Dummise once again is super slow, and it's not that good of a defensive type in, but it has a lot of. They give Dummise decent bulk, so it can definitely take hits here and there. And one Dummise's ability is just cool with steelwork, so it pretty much has 3 stabs, which is awesome. And Dummise can hit hard. Put a choice band on it. I don't remember if they gave Dummise setup. I'm not sure if Dummise gets Sword Dance or not. I forgot. Oh, Dummise does get Sword Dance. Alright, yeah. You can set up them with Dummise, but it's super slow. And you can set up with Dummise with Sword Dance, but I think it's just way too slow. It also doesn't have Shadow Sneak, which is one of the most annoying things about Dummise. Like, I don't know why they didn't give Dummise Shadow Sneak. I don't know why there's so many Pokemon that have priority stats, but they don't get them. Like Krabappel and Dummise. Like Decidueye got Shadow Sneak. Why doesn't Dummise got Shadow Sneak? That's annoying. Because Dummise can even get Bullet Punch technically with his Steelwork ability and get Stab. But Gust Rapid Spin, which boosts his speed, but obviously Dummise is just way too slow, so one Rapid Spin is not going to outspeed much still. But I think for what Dummise got working with it, I think Dummise is super solid. And also, Dummise's shiny is amazing. Dummise is definitely the top 10 best shinies in this generation. Moving on to Como. I'm going to put Como in B. Como is probably my least favorite pseudo-legendary of all time, just because, like, design-wise, I'm not too crazy about Como. And just, I still haven't used it as much as other pseudo-legendaries. Like, even, like, and with Generation 8, like, I probably use Como more than Dragapult, but Dragapult just looks freaking amazing, and Como just doesn't have a design like Dragapult's, obviously. But Dragon Fighting is a cool type, and Como has a lot of bulk. It's very bulky mon, and it has a lot of setup. Like, you can do so much with Como with its balanced stat distribution. Physical, special, mixed. And then with its Z move being an Omni Boost. And then now in Sword and Shield, it just has a regular move that gives it an Omni Boost. So, like, Como, you can still do a lot of good stuff with Como. It's just, like, I'm not too crazy about his design. And also, Como is literally my least favorite shiny of all time. Como shiny is disgusting. I hate Como shiny. It is absolutely the worst shiny I've ever seen. Moving on to the Taboos. Tapu Koko in A, Tapu Lele in A, Tapu Bulu in A, Tapu Fini in B. Like, they're all good. Like, if a Pokemon's good competitively, like, you're always gonna use it more than Pokemon not competitively. Like, all of these Tapus, like, I love the Tapus. Like, they're great. They look cool. Like, I guess the biggest downside is just they're way too good competitively. With all of our terrains and stuff, they're clearly the best terrain setters. Like, in Sword and Shield, like, their terrain setters are garbage compared to these terrain setters. And Tapu Fini is my least favorite one because of the design-wise, and Misty terrain just isn't a good terrain. Honestly, it's easily the worst terrain. But all of these Pokemon, they got solid designs. They're solid designs, competitively really viable. And yeah, they're cool. Box art legendaries, I don't care about the box art legendaries. I'm just going to put both of them in C. I'll put Solgaleo in C and Lunala in B because I think Lunala is just cooler design-wise. And its shiny is cooler too. I love Lunala's shiny. The shade of reds that they do, really cool. Really solid. Next up, we got the Ultra Beast, Nihilego. I'm going to put in B. I think it's alright. Rock Poison, really unique typing. It's fast, so it can sweep, and Beast Boost is broken. Buzzwole, I'm going to put in B. It's alright. It's super physically bulky, and Beast Boost is broken. Pheromosa, I'm going to put in B. I like its design, and it's super fast, and super hits hard, super frail, though, and Beast Boost is broken. Circuitry, gonna put in B. It's alright. Actually, Circuitry will stay in B. Circuitry used to be my favorite Ultra Beast, but it's now probably one of my least favorite because I think it's the most boring out of the Ultra Beast. Because the concept of Ultra Beast is supposed to be this out of this world, like, not even Pokemon. Like, not even supposed to be a Pokemon. They got these crazy typings, crazy designs. Like, Circuitry 1 doesn't look too crazy design-wise. It's an electric cord, and you can obviously tell it's an electric type-in, but does it have any cool secondary type-in? No, it's just boring-ass electric, because electric is the most boring type-in of all time. Moving on. Celesteela. Celesteela is going in C, because I hate battling competitively. It's really annoying, stall-wise. Kartana. Kartana, I'm going to put it in A. Kartana's my favorite Ultra Beast. Just because, like, design-wise, it's cool. I like its design. I like the Sealgrass type-in offensively, too, and, like, not being the opposite of Ferroform, like, instead of being super bulky, it's super offensive, monstrous attack stat, and, yeah, I think Kartana's cool. A S tier, but I don't think any Pokemon are gonna be in the S tier anymore. Guzzlord, I'm gonna put Guzzlord in A. I actually love Guzzlord. It sucks that it's not good competitively. It's definitely the worst Ultra Beast competitively, because it's just so slow and it's not very offensive either. Its best stat is obviously the HP stat, but it's not even very good defensively, because it got no recovery. But Guzzlord just looks badass. Dark Dragon, cool typing, and its shiny is amazing. I love shiny Guzzlord. I have one of those, and I'm proud of it. Ultra Necrozma, Ultra Solgaleo, Ultra Lunaya. I don't even know what these Pokemon are called. I'm gonna put both of them in C. They're pretty forgettable. I don't care, and I don't care about box art legendaries. Super over the top. You gotta scroll down again. Ultra Necrozma, don't really care. Put it at C. Hard boss fight though, I guess. Kind of cool. I actually had no problem with it. Necrozma, I'm also gonna put Necrozma in B. Necrozma is obviously not as OP as the other legendaries, because it's not even an OU, I think, when it released. I think it was like an RU or something. But you can do a lot with Necrozma. Physical, special, obviously, with its amazing move, just depending on what's your highest offensive stat, is what its attack is, which is really cool. So you can do a lot of stuff with Necrozma, so I like a Pokemon that can do a lot of things that, like, for example, like Passimian, it's only going to be fast offensive. Like Necrozma can be fast special, fast physical, it can be defensive. Like, that's what I mean by a lot of options. Magearna, I'm going to put Magearna in C. Magearna was a monster when it was in Sun and Moon. Like, Magearna is insanely good. But I don't care about it that much. I think I'll raise it to B. Besides design-wise, I like its design a little bit. But it's definitely one of those Pokemon. It's just like Landorus that you're really annoyed of seeing it competitively. Marshadow, I'm gonna put Marshadow in B. I don't use Marshadow that much because it was in Ubers, because of how OP it is. But design-wise, it's adorable. It's funny how adorable it is, and it's just can destroy the biggest, baddest of Pokemon. Like, that's really good about it. Neganadel, I'm going to put Neganadel in B as well. Like, another Pokemon that's just end up being way too good and being banned to the Ubers tier. I love its shiny too. Its shiny is amazing. Like looking like a yellow hornet or something. Amazing. But it's just way too good competitively, so I haven't used it much competitively. Stekataka, I like Stekataka actually. I'm going to put Stekataka in B. I think its design is solid. I like seeing, I like when Pokeaim MD used it a lot. This was like one of Pokeaim's like signature Pokemon in that era of competitive Pokemon, and I just like seeing it used and getting all of these successes. Blacephalon, I'm gonna put Blacephalon in A. I like Blacephalon. It looks ridiculous, but I actually like it. Ghostfire, it's still a cool type, and like it's really good offensively. And Blacephalon's super fast, hits super hard, and obviously Beast Boost is just a freaking broken ability on all of these Ultra Beasts. And Blacephalon's shiny is amazing. I hunted a shiny Blacephalon, and I was synchronizing for the timid nature, and I got freaking quiet nature. So I'm a little mad about that. Moving on, we just got a little bit more. We just got Zeraora and Melmetal. Zeraora going in C. Zeraora is a pretty bland as hell mythical Pokemon. And all they had to do was make an electric fighting to be a lot cooler, but they didn't, because Game Freak is stupid and they want to make their electric types boring as hell. So, thankfully, Sword and Shield, we got Drekazult and Toxtricity, but in this generation, we got Born as Circuitry and Born as Zero Aura. Very, very, very lame electric types, in my opinion. I mean, Melmetal, I'll put in C. I have no... I'll put Melmetal in there, too. Melten, Melmetal. I'll put both of them in C. Because they're only in Pokemon Go and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and competitively, competitive Pokemon doesn't really exist for those two Pokemon games, so I don't really got much to say about them. Design-wise, they're pretty boring and pretty average. They kind of remind me of the Regis, but lamer because they're not the Regis. I love the Regis, and these are not the Regis. But and it's all right. We'll see when it gets released in Sword and Shield. But that looks like is the end of my tier list. Yep, you can see my full tier list. And I didn't add the pre-evolved Pokemon, well, except for this one, because people have to know how much I hate getting this Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Yeah, this is my tier list. Generation 7 was the first generation of Pokemon that I got to fully experience be released. I got back into Pokemon after X and Y and after Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. So when these new games got announced, I got to fully experience the hype of seeing all these trailers be announced, seeing YouTube speculations, seeing the community's reception towards this game. And the reception seemed great for this game. People were really excited for this game. I was really excited for this game. We got to see so many Pokemon before launch, and they just all looked amazing. But then, competitively, if you want to use these Pokemon, you will end up losing, because the Pokemon just aren't good competitively. Game Freak has really messed up Sun and Moon, the competitive meta in Sun and Moon sucked. I think a lot of bigger competitive players of this generation said, because they're just you were just facing the same Pokemon over and over again. So far, it looks like Sword and Shield is a lot healthier, because so many Pokemon, there's so little Pokemon, and so many Pokemon that got cut, that so many other Pokemon can play more significant roles. It's great. This competitive Sun and Moon's competitive format was garbage, because there's just way too much power with Mega Evolutions and Z moves, unexpected Z moves out of everywhere, and just so much Pokemon that were obviously so much better than a lot of the other Pokemon that it was just ridiculous. And the only good Pokemon that came out of this generation were pretty much the Ultra Bees, the Legendaries, and then frickin' Toxapex, because Toxapex is just a good defensive stall user mon. And, well, so is an Ultra Beast. So, yeah. So, overall, I was disappointed in this generation because there are so many Pokemon, design-wise, look amazing, but competitively, they're pretty garbage and trash. But this is my tier list. My favorite Pokemon of this generation is obviously Beware. And then my least favorite Pokemon, Krabappel. Alolan Ductrio, though, is a close second. So this is my tier list. What do you guys think of this tier list? I'll put the link in the description to this tier list below, so you can make your own Sun and Moon tier list. And what do you think of Sun and Moon? Any ways you can make it better? How I would make it better is I'll try to make the Pokemon not suck. But I'm going to call it a video here, guys. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel. Hit 200 subscribers a little bit ago, so let's hit 300, shall we? I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next, we'll be still doing more tier lists. I plan on doing a tier list of the shiny Pokemon in all the generations. So, I'll see you again. I'm Sly Guy. This is bye-bye.